Murder charge dropped against one of 4 police officers accused of Joshua Etienne's death. First part of West Bridge project underway, and Kalinago community leader says more promotion of the area will boost economic prospects. I am Idona John Baptist with the Channel 5 News. Details coming up. We begin with news of Police Constable Orland Vigil, who will no longer face trial in the Joshua Etienne murder case. Julian Morris explains.
The court has ruled that the state was unable to produce evidence to establish a prima facie case against Police Constable Orland Vigil, and so has dismissed the murder charge against him. Prima facie refers to a lawsuit or criminal prosecution in which the evidence before trial is sufficient to prove the case unless there is substantial contradictory evidence presented at trial. The other police officers facing a murder charge, in this case Constables Martin Simon, Devin Challenger and Woman Police Corporal Gemma Lewis, will however be tried for the death of Joshua Etienne. The court ruled that the state was able to establish a prima facie case against them. Etienne was found dead in police cells in Portsmouth on July 4, 2014, one day after he was arrested for alleged ammunition possession. Before handing down his decision before a packed Portsmouth Magistrates Court on Monday, Magistrate Ali Gill briefly recounted some of the evidence adduced by the prosecution. He stated also that his task was to find out whether there was a prima facie case against the accused and was not to determine their innocence or guilt. Zina Mordaya, defense counsel for the accused, had argued that there was no case for them to answer and made a no-case submission. But the state led by Sherman Dalrymple said based on the evidence, the state had a strong case against them, the accused. Magistrate Gill said there was no evidence that Orland Vigil took part or did anything. Before that, Vigil was granted bail in the sum of $150,000 by High Court Judge Errol Thomas. After hearing arguments, Justice Thomas said he was satisfied that the evidence thus far was not linking Vigil to the crime. Bail is closed for Constables Martin Simon, Devin Challenger and Woman Police Corporal Gemma Lewis, who have all been on remand at the state prison. The matter has been adjourned to June 21 at 9 a.m. to deal with committal to stand trial for murder.
Residents of Tarish Peat are mourning the death of 21-year-old O'Neill Williams. Williams drowned at Woodbridge Bay on Sunday.
It's my daughter that called me. Leona called me and tell me, Mommy, look, they just come and tell her only drunk by the bay. So I tell her, you joking, you check? So go and check him for me. I still there, and then she called me and tell me. So I tell him, my boyfriend, look, you're not talking no nonsense in my head. What really going on? So then I tell her, go and check for me. And then she called me back and tell me, yes, Mommy, look, I by the bay, I by public works there. Only really there, you, my mommy. Look, the ambulance going in front of us. So I tell her, go to hospital and check him.
Coffee says her son was very close to her heart.
I will describe O'Neill as a loving child. I will come, he will hug me, he will kiss me, he will tell me, Mommy, I love you. He's a loving child. He's a respectful child. When he dresses, it's a pleasure. It was my pleasure to sit down and watch him take his time and dress. He was my most loving child. Trust me, I tell him somebody that, you know, sometimes, I don't know. I really don't know what go wrong. But then he had a little seizures taking him, so I guess maybe it's that in this life, God knows best. God give us and God take. So we just have to hold on strong and we just have to pray for one another.
Williams had turned 21 on the 27th of May. In other police news, a search is ongoing for a 77-year-old man from Soufriere who was last seen on Friday.
According to eyewitnesses, Masterlin Williams was last seen walking in a southerly direction towards the community of Scott's Head. At the time, he was wearing a white t-shirt, a pair of long blue jeans and a pair of black sneakers. He is about 5 feet 5 inches tall and dark brown in complexion.
And one man from Mero is currently a patient at the Princess Margaret Hospital, nursing injuries sustained from an incident on Thursday last week.
It is alleged that about 9:30 p.m. on Thursday, the 2nd of June 2016 at Loubier, an unknown male dressed in full black and armed with a cutlass attacked and inflicted serious injuries to the back and right elbow of Richard Sablon, male adult of Mero. Sablan was transported to the Accident and Emergency Department of the Princess Margaret Hospital, where he was examined by a medical doctor and admitted. Investigations are ongoing.
Anyone with information to assist the police is asked to call 266-5164, 266-5165, 266-5119 or Crime Stoppers Dominica at 1-800-8477. In other news, demolition of the West Bridge is ongoing. It's the first step towards reconstructing a new bridge. Here's Julian Morris with that report.
Several road diversions are now in place since the West Bridge closed on Sunday. Drivers are being asked to pay attention to the newly placed traffic signs. The contracted company has a designated area on riverbank to store equipment. The Dominica-China Friendship Bridge is now the main exit bridge. As a result, it will not allow for traffic entering the city. The $18.2 million bridge project is expected to be completed in 12 months. The project will also include rebuilding of St. Johnson's Avenue and a retaining wall, as well as dredging of the river, the Rosa River, between the EC Low Black and West Bridge.
On the education scene, the Dominica State College will expand its student base to individuals outside the country. Andrea Louis has more.
This as the upper campus of the Dominica State College is now home to the Center of Excellence in Information Technology. President of the Dominica State College, Donald Peters, says this new facility will help more people access courses offered by the DSC.
With the launching of the ICT, Dominica State College plans to deliver video classes to people in Capuchin, Pebush, Grand Bay, Antigua, St. Martin, Guadeloupe. These are some of the capacities we want to generate from this launch ICT center. But more importantly, the students who come here, they need to embrace the option of ICT and internet as a concept for sustainable development.
Peters says information technology is a necessity for students in today's world.
9 Dominican students participated in something called Digital Jam, put on by the World Bank 2 years ago, out of selected students from the rest of the Caribbean. Jamaica had 39, Dominica had 9, Trinidad had 2, Barbados had 1, Antigua had 1. Dominica had 9, the second highest number. So the structure and the need for ICT for the Center of Excellence cannot be overemphasized. ICT and telecommunications, together with the internet, provide a unique opportunity for our students and our people in Dominica to create employment for themselves and for their communities.
The Center of Excellence was officially opened on Friday. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
You're watching Channel 5 News. Coming up, political parties make their last-ditch efforts to persuade voters ahead of Tuesday's by-election in Soufriere. Stay with us. Welcome back. The people of the Kalinago territory have been taking stock of community tourism, with one community leader calling for increased promotion of their tourism product. The Kalinago territory is home to the Barana Ote, Tuna Heritage Village and segments of the Waitukubuli National Trail which run through the area. It also offers homestays, traditional craft and cassava bread production. Since the Kalinagos are the only indigenous people in the Caribbean, Miranda Langley Stout, head of the Carifuna Cultural Group, says more prominence should be given to their culture.
Over the past years, the Kalinago Group has recognized that tourism is very important to the economic development of the territory. Not only territory, but Dominica on a whole. We are trying our best in the territory. There still need to be more and more promotion. For example, yes, we have the craft. There's a lot of promotion that has done in the French market, you know, in France, in all the Caribbean islands. But there still need to be more.
To the credit of the Discover Dominica Authority, Stout said workshops have been held to encourage craft vendors to be more creative and capitalize on their trade.
That's why the tourism has grown a little bit. Although there is more room for improvement, as a cultural leader, what I would like to see is the language and other, you know, other aspect. And like, for example, our Kalinago songs and music, you know, the authority, they need to do more yes, they need to do more to do the promotion.
The Carifuna Cultural Group returned from Martinique on Sunday from a trade show at La Galleria supported by Discover Dominica Authority. Still in tourism, the elimination of a number of air access hurdles into Dominica expected to improve the visitor experience. Senator Robert Tong told a DLP rally in Soufriere on the weekend Dominica had successfully negotiated an agreement with LIAT which eliminates the need to overnight in Barbados and Antigua. Mr. Tong said the Air Access Committee at the Ministry of Tourism was behind a lot of these new developments, but the minister says making it easier to access Dominica is not enough. He says there is also a critical role to be played by every citizen when the visitor arrives.
We have to make sure when the visitors come to our shores, they have a wonderful experience. Starting with our immigration officers, custom officers, the porters, taxi drivers, the hotel people, the tour guides, and even those in the shops. Because if we give them bad service, they don't want to come back to Dominica. We continue to move forward to make Dominica better and to make our hotel sector better. So even the hotels that are in Dominica right now, the Prime Minister, in his wisdom, is also putting together a special loan fund for these hotels so that they can improve on their hotels and they can also expand on those hotels.
On the political scene, it has been a busy weekend for DLP and UWP campaigners in the Soufriere constituency. Both parties held meetings in the constituency as they head into Tuesday's by-election. Addressing a party rally on Sunday, DLP candidate Dennis Charles said victory for Labour Party at the by-election would mean further economic progress for the people.
See how our community will transform with the opening of 3 resorts that will create nearly 200 permanent jobs. See how our community will transform when you are well trained to grasp the new opportunities on the horizon. Our children are focused on their education and we have graduates in every household. See how our community will transform when all our attraction sites such as our Sulphur Springs, Bubbles Beach, and the inlet in Scottshead have been developed to global standards, booming with vendors and visitors. See how we will transform when mariners are built in Soufriere and Scottshead. See how we will transform when our sporting facilities are enhanced, when our playing fields and courts in Point Michel and Soufriere are renovated.
Polling stations open at 7 a.m. on Tuesday and will close at 5 p.m. Prime Minister Skerrit has called out the UWP for trying to connect his government to the Panama Papers. Addressing a party rally in Soufriere on the weekend, Mr. Skerrit distanced his administration from any involvement with the Panama Papers scandal.
Up to now, no one I have spoken to can understand where and how the government of Dominica was connected in any way to any wrongdoing. But that is the nature of the United Workers' Party. Having failed in the attempt to besmirch the name and image of Dominica at home and abroad, they have now turned back to undermining public confidence in the policies and programs of the government. The people of this constituency can see, feel, and sense that the United Workers' Party has all but given up and is not serious about winning this election on Tuesday. It is not that they're not keen to win another seat. It is that they have their mind set on bringing down the present government so that they can be in government. That is why they are busy working quietly behind the scenes to undermine every single project undertaken by this government.
Mr. Skerrit says the Soufriere by-election is not the UWP's main concern at this time, but rather to frustrate the plans and projects of his government.
I sense that Dominicans are not in the mood for the persistent foolishness, and it would do them wise to think twice before proceeding with their sinister plan to disrupt the economic viability of this country. Ladies and gentlemen, we are less than 36 hours to the start of voting in this crucial by-election. And I'm saying to the voters of the Sufria constituency tonight, fear not. This Dominican Labour Party government has your back. Roosevelt Skerritt as your Prime Minister has your back. Sufria is Labour and Labour is Sufria.
Still on the campaign trail, the UWP held a number of events on the weekend in preparation for Tuesday's by-election. Speaking at what they call a whistle stop in the Sufria constituency on the weekend, political leader Lennox Linton said the by-election is an opportunity to send a message.
It's an exercise that is going to allow you to assess very fairly, honestly, what is going on and to make a decision about what needs to change and change very quickly. Higgs Adams has contested village council elections repeatedly in this constituency over the past 9 years, and he has been topping the polls every time. I think it was Joseph Isaac who said earlier, and I want to repeat it, it is time to graduate Higgs to the next level. You cannot keep a man who is outstanding in his work in a class, in that class forever and ever, amen, without moving him up, without promoting him. And the obvious promotion available to Higgs right now is to move him into the Parliament of Dominica, where he will continue the outstanding representation of people in this constituency that he has been known for.
The UWP's Higgs Adams lost the December 2014 general election, receiving 825 votes to Ian Pinard's 1,331. That's news. Your sports highlights next with Kenny Williams.
First up in sports, Bathurst State Football Club captured the 2016 All-Island League Championship when they defeated Digicel Newtown Academy Harlem United 5-4 on penalty kicks after the match ended 2-2 at regulation time on Saturday. Gerald George has that report.
Derrickson McDonald opened the scoring for Bathurst State in the 12th minute of play. Chris McIntyre got the equalizer for Harlem in the 29th minute. 9 minutes later, Chris McIntyre was again in the spotlight as he put Harlem ahead, giving them a 2-1 advantage at the interval. Derrickson McDonald equalized for Bathurst State late in the second half to send the match into overtime. After 30 minutes of overtime, the match was still locked at 2 goals apiece.
Meantime, in the Domlec Women's League on Sunday, defending champions New India Goodwill Runners suffered their first defeat for the season when they went down by 2-1 against Mau Soka Strikettes. Here again is Gerald George.
Michelin Morgan netted both goals for Soka Strikettes. Romelsia Phillips scored for the reigning champs, while at the Benjamin Park, New Generation Sports Club defeated Wood City Strikers 2-0. Tamanfia Joseph and Donisha Xavier scored for New Generation.
In cricket, Dominica Cricket Academy defeated Summit Sports Club by an innings and 82 runs in the Digicel Augustus Gregoire Premier Cricket League on the weekend. Taj Tavernier scored 119 for DCA to help them reach 267 for 8. Kamal Hamilton took 6 for 78. Summit scored 68 and 118. Jelani Robinson scored 44. Meantime, Penville Gladiators secured their spot in the finals of the Fort Young Hotel Intermediate League when they defeated Gladiators by 9 wickets on Saturday. Reuben Bakery Christians batted first and scored 74. Alan Christopher added 17 and Ember Bruno 14. Eric Marcellet picked up 3 for 10 and Tavari Sango 3 for 18. Gladiators in reply scored 76 for 1. Fabian Etienne made 35 and Tavari Sango 31 not out. Gladiators will face Mariners in the finals. Still in sports, Dominica suffered a second defeat in the Scotiabank Caribbean Cup when they went down to Guadeloupe 2-1 on Saturday. Dominica has lost 2 games so far and will need to defeat Martinique in their next match if they are to move to the next round. Meantime, national team captain Glenson Prince says despite the loss, his team put on a good performance.
We played exceptionally well. I mean, we lost 2-1, but we were always in it. And like I said previously, if we can be competitive, then we always aim with a fighting chance. I mean, even in stoppage time, we had an opportunity for us to equalize. So honestly, I mean, all the circumstances, we played very, very well. The team played exceptionally well. But like you said, Brian Thomas played really well. Julian Wade as well, I find, had a really good game. But as a team, we played well, but we just fell short.
Meanwhile, Guadeloupe manager Jean Hardy says the Dominican team put up a good fight.
It was a very difficult match because Dominic fight a lot, and we try to have more to 1 or 2 goals, but we can't.
The national team coach Shane Marshall says despite the loss, he was pleased with the result.
To be honest, in a long time I haven't seen shots like that on goal. We had a lot of shots at goal, and I mean, you see for yourself, you were there. And for the type of preparation we had and the type of game we had tonight, to me, I was impressed. The team played well. It's just that we didn't come out victorious. The team deserved to come out with a victory tonight, but 2 simple blunders from our central defender and goal. And that cost us.
Marshall says the team will use the remaining time to prepare for Dominica's match against Martinique at Windsor Park.
We have 1 training session again. Go back to the drawing board. I mean, we usually have our board session. We should have at least 1 or 2 sessions before the next game. And we see where we move from there with the players we have. I mean, and trust me, I confident in the players that maybe they might play better at home.
On the court for basketball, there were wins for Police Sports Club and Fashion Line Falcons in the 2016 Flow DABA League on the weekend. Police defeated Elvis Welding Services Hornets 63-50. Marlon Hillier had a game high for Police with 26, while Corey Corbett and Caleb Challenger assisted with 10 and 9 respectively. In a losing effort, Taylor Birmingham scored 17 for Hornets, while Dylan Mendes chipped in with 11. Meantime, in the other match, Fashion Line Falcons bested Fast Cash Prowlers 72-66. Falcons' top shooter was Kejuan Thomas with 18 and 7 rebounds. Ramal Carbon and Yannick Regis both added 14. Prowlers' best shooter was Craig St. Rose with 19 points. Julian Isles had 18 and Fitzgerald Daniel 10. Back on the cricket scene, not a good day for West Indies when they went down to Australia by 6 wickets in the second match of the Windies Tri-Nation Series on Sunday. West Indies took first knock and were all out for 116 in 32.3 overs. Johnson Charles top scored with 22, while Carlos Brathwaite chipped in with 21. Adam Zampa and Nathan Lyon went through the Windies batting lineup, taking 3 for 13 and 3 for 39 respectively. Set 117 for victory, Australia equaled the target in 25.4 overs. David Warner had a game high of 55 not out, and Osman Khawaja added 27. Sunil Narayan picked up 2 for 36 for West Indies. Meantime, in the previous match, where West Indies played South Africa, the Windies won that match by 4 wickets. Final score, South Africa 118 all out, West Indies 191 for 6. On to track and field now. Jabez Ferrara and Stelly Martin were selected to represent Dominica at the upcoming CARICOM 10K in Guyana when they placed first in their respective categories in the 10K trials on Sunday. In a time of 35 minutes and 47 seconds, Ferrara crossed the finish line in fine style, while Martin secured first place with a time of 53 minutes and 17 seconds. The CARICOM 10K is carded for July 3 in Guyana. Finally, in sports, preparation for the Windward Islands Inter-Secondary School Games are in full swing as the athletes get ready to take on their regional counterparts. This week, the sports division will host a series of important meetings with the athletes to further prepare for the competition. The days for meeting are as follows. On Tuesday, the netball team, Wednesday, basketballers and volleyballers, and on Friday, the track and field team will have their meeting. The week's meeting is carded for the Dominica Grammar School Hardcourt at 3 p.m. The 2016 Inter-School Games are scheduled to run from July 23 to 30 in Grenada. That's all the sports for now. I am Kenny Williams. Join us again next time.
The 6th day of the hurricane season and the flood watch is in effect. More in the weather report.
Good evening, Dominica, and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I'm your presenter, Marshall Alexander. We begin by taking a look at earlier infrared satellite imagery. What it showed, this area of deep convection associated with a tropical wave presently affecting the region. Now, taking a look at earlier visible satellite imagery, what it showed, multi-layered clouds across the region today, and this resulted in cloudy to overcast skies across Dominica. Now, taking a look at earlier radar imagery, and what it indicated, the associated scattered showers across the region today and possible isolated thunderstorms. Tonight's weather is expected to be cloudy to overcast at times, with showers and possible isolated thunderstorms, and these conditions are expected to continue into tomorrow. As a result, a flood warning has been issued for Dominica. Persons in areas prone to flooding, landslides, and falling rocks, you're advised to be vigilant and to take all the necessary precautions to protect life and property. Sea conditions are expected to be moderate to rough in open water, with waves peaking near 8 feet. A small craft warning is in effect. Therefore, small craft operators and sea beavers, you're advised to exercise caution. Conditions for the next 3 days: increased cloudiness with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms can be expected tomorrow. However, as we move into Wednesday and Thursday, a relative improvement in conditions can be expected. Breezy conditions expected throughout the next 3 days. For the rest of the Caribbean tomorrow, a tropical wave will continue to produce increased cloudiness, scattered showers, and possible isolated thunderstorms across most of the chain tomorrow. Our international cities forecast: partly cloudy skies can be expected in New York, thunderstorm activity expected in Miami, London, and Caracas, with clear skies expected in Beijing. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 5:34 a.m. and sunset will be at 6:35 p.m. For more information, you can call the weather hotline at 447-5555 or visit the website at weather.gov.dm. Thanks for viewing. Have a good night and stay safe.
To end the news, the headlines again. Murder charge dropped against one of 4 police officers accused of Joshua Etienne's death. First part of West Bridge project underway, and Kalinago community leader says more promotion of the area will boost economic prospects. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Idona John Baptist. To our viewers around the world, thanks for watching. Join us again tomorrow.